kid from Central Pennsylvania going to a program, the Atlanta Braves, that carried they respect the A on the hat more than what the name on the back of the jerseys. So taught you professionalism, how to and respect for something that's bigger than yourself.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing in the outdoor space. So like our hunting in a sense, the wildlife is bigger than what our personal goals of obtaining, killing something for our own.
First thing I do when I climb my stand is bow my head and thank the man. And while I'm waiting on daybreak, I feel my heart race. Up here on Whitetail Ridge, we know how to hunt, we know how to fish. We love our country, we love this land, and we're proud to be free. From the ground we plow, the stands we hang, we believe a man should pull his weight. We know what real hunting really is. Up on Whitetail Ridge.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to a Hunting with a Passion podcast, where we like to talk to people that have great experiences, great advice. And today we got somebody with very good experience and also share his life as a former baseball player, Jake Belinda. And we're going to talk about how to start your own YouTube channel and the journey it took him from being a baseball player to starting his own channel and where it is today. So if you're interested in starting to film and start a channel or anything like that, stay tuned and hope you enjoy.
Busy as ever.
Yeah, ready for September to be chasing elk, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, saw you getting your gear ready last night.
It's nonstop, man. This time of year is just nonstop. I have to
Yeah,
fly out today to do projects, so it's just one thing after another.
yeah. Well, I'm glad we could finally get you on. My other buddy that usually helps me out, he had to work today, so he wasn't able to make it. But glad we could get this done finally.
Yeah.
Um, this is not my typical studio. I'd typically be at my house right now, but kids were woke up screaming. I got two kids, a 2-year old and a 4-month old. So I was like, well, I guess I'll just drive around. I'm actually sitting at a state game land parking lot, so no better place to have a podcast about deer hunting than sitting in a game lands parking lot. So, so I think I texted you a little bit. We're gonna be talking about like filming and YouTube channels and stuff like that. Um,
Yep.
Maybe give like a brief background of what you used to do in your former life, and then now a little bit what you do.
So I mean, I guess, I in 2017 is when I kind of really wanted to do something different. I mean, it's 2025 now, but in 2017 is whenever I got drafted out of college. I was playing pro baseball. And that was kind of, I thought my career path was going to be, but with COVID and injuries and the politics of professional sports, I ended up getting released and not playing anymore in 2019. So then I've had to transition from my number one passion of baseball to this number two passion, which was the outdoors. And I kind of wanted to make a living in it, but I didn't know how to make a living in the outdoors. So I basically picked up a camera. I already had a camera at this point, because I was filming just kind of my own stuff in 2017, 2018 when I was done playing in September. Then I could hunt basically the whole fall, and those were kind of my rookie years of messing everything up, not knowing what I was doing. So I basically then said to myself, I need to get better at this and quickly. So I took an internship with a established YouTube channel
Okay.
back in back in 2019, um, with the Untamed. So that was where I got my first fall season, and learned the business that way. And then from there in 2020, still didn't know enough. Hunted on my own. I worked construction, just tried to make as much money as humanly possible.
Yeah.
And from there, just kept grinding the content world. So like just tried to get better at everything. Research, my own research, YouTube University. I mean, it's
Yeah.
constant indulging in it. And when you love something like that, you just kind of dive in feet first. So it's you can't really you can't dip your toe in the water and then expect something to come out of it. You got to
Right.
kind of go full bore, and that's kind of the route I took. You know, every dollar I made, and for 3 years I put right back into equipment, right back into business model. Took read some business books, read some insider stuff, tried to pick the brains of people that were in the industry, and just kind of kept at it for a long time. And then I went full time for myself in 2022.
Okay.
I went full time. It wasn't easy. I still had to work a little bit of side jobs here and there, and figure life out. But I kind of figured my stuff out for the most part. You know, it's constantly evolving. But now I have a media company in the outdoor space. That's kind of where I make a living, quote unquote. You know, you don't make a living hunting.
Right.
You make
Right.
you make a living in terms of providing a service, a product, something
Yeah.
um, for the outdoor space.
Yeah.
So
Nobody gets paid to hunt.
no,
I've
no,
heard
no,
that. I don't know if I've heard that so many times now. It's like, yeah, like, oh, cool, you get to get paid to get hunt, and they're like, no, there's still
yeah.
like stuff behind the scenes. I've heard Bo say that. I've heard Lee Ellis say that many times. It's like, no, you still have a lot of like behind the scenes stuff you have to do. Um,
You know, hunting is the hunting aspect. When you see people on the film, is the end result of
right.
all they put in from everything else. You
Yeah.
know,
There's hours and hours of editing behind that and talking to sponsors and shaking hands and all that stuff going on too.
yeah, it's
Um,
connections. The
yeah.
biggest things.
Yeah. You answered like the first two questions I had for you. So like with the have you always like enjoyed like the outdoors always been a huge part of your life? So you already answered that for me. I
Yeah.
did have a good question here. What are some lessons from baseball that carried over to your YouTube and your business and all that?
The biggest thing I would say is the professionalism. So like as being a professional athlete in I was a small town kid from central Pennsylvania going to a program, the Atlanta Braves, that carried they respect the A on the hat more than what the name on the back of the jersey. So
Right.
basically that means um like we never put our sunglasses over top of the logo. We had to wear them behind our head. Those small things just taught you professionalism, how to and respect for something that's bigger than yourself.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing in the outdoor space. So like our hunting in a sense, the wildlife is bigger than what our personal goals of obtaining, killing something for our own benefit. Um, Giving back to the hunting space in some way, shape, or form, or just respecting the game that you're chasing. Doing the right thing, taking them legally,
Yeah.
buying your licenses, everything kind of compiles, and just doing the right thing ultimately plays out in your favor. So that's something I learned that just kind of transpires back and forth. Um, and just carrying yourself, a certain way in the outdoor space, respectful, listen to everybody. Don't try to turn a cold shoulder. There's a lot of ego in this space, and
Yep.
it's kind of sad, to be honest with you, because without the actual wild animal and the conservation efforts and the state agencies, I mean, you can badmouth whatever you want, but at the end of the day, without that stuff as a whole, we're all in one big bubble together.
Yep.
There's a whole separate side of the world that sees hunting and the way of life that we have it as a negative thing, which is us as humans 150 years ago, everybody hunted. Like
Yeah.
you hunt and farmed, that was your sources of food.
Yep.
And now looked at as in within 150 years as we are the negative and we're the bad guy. So it's something that you gotta kind of always see the bigger picture and then try to do your small, tiny part if you can and kind of take it from there.
Yeah. Um, with like your channel and stuff like that, like thinking back to like your first video you ever posted, would you ever um would you do it like post it differently?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, so there's a lot of videos that I have that I don't even have posted that are really that are the beginning.
Yeah,
And that's because they just, in my eyes, and that's kind of, it's one of my positive but negative impacts of being very hard on myself, my own self-critic.
yeah,
Um, I, I never felt like any of the stuff was good enough. So I
yeah,
never put it there for anybody else to see. And I got buddies that are like, that's killer. But me, I was like, I think it sucks.
yeah,
And I'm hard on myself. So the only thing I would change would be learning the correct way in the beginning,
yeah,
instead of wrong. The self-taught thing is very difficult because you're doing things wrong that you don't even realize you're doing wrong until it's 5 years later and you look back on it
yeah,
and you realize you were doing it wrong.
yeah.
So
Now, do you run the Void, but like, is it you solo, or do you have partners in the company as well, like other guys that help you? Are they just your cameramen and stuff like that?
yeah, I'm a one-man show. Besides, sometimes I will either hire a guy to be there or pay a buddy to just be there to hold the camera.
Yeah,
uh, in certain things. A lot of the stuff is a very, very, very small budget. I mean, I try not to put any money into that because it's very
right.
expensive. I know what it costs because that's what I do for most of the year. Half the year I film for other people, and that's what I'm doing tomorrow. I fly out today to go to Montana to film for 5 days. So
Wow.
I understand that, but when I go on my own hunts, me understanding and I can get most of the things, I just need that extra body.
Yeah,
Be fun, moral support, but at the same time,
right.
get the angles that it's almost impossible with a single guy.
Yeah. And I'm kind of going through that like right now because like a little backstory on like our channel. I grew up not really in a hunting family. My first dad did a lot of turkey hunting. He passed away when I was younger, and my stepdad, like none of his family did any hunting. I just had like an older gentleman that I met, and he just started like taking me under wing and taking me hunting and stuff. And I grew up hunting or watching like Primo's hunting and Real Tree Roadshow and all those shows. And I'm like, man, that'd be so cool to like film a hunt like that. And like being a little like young teenager, and my brother loved playing with the camera and stuff, so we started just filming everything, like putting trail cameras up or tree stands or even hunts and stuff like that. And we would like edit them at the end of the year and make DVDs out of them and then give them to like all of our families and stuff. And as I got older, I was like, I could actually start making money doing this. And I really enjoy hunting, and I never really want to take away from the hunt. Like I enjoy filming it, but I never want to like lose the passion for hunting. Um, but I wasn't really getting enough content to post, just one guy. And so I had this buddy of mine that lives out in Missouri, and he's like, hey, we could, collab together, and I could do some hunts and stuff like that. The hard part for me is I'm very like you, like I'm hard on myself with editing, and like I have probably 10 videos that I've never posted that I want to post, but I'm like, they're not good enough for YouTube or whatever. I might make shorts out of them later on or something. But whereas my buddy, he's not as hard on himself. He takes videos. No offense to him, but like he's not very tech savvy, so he like takes videos on his phone, which is okay. But like certain things, details that I look out for, like a turkey video he posted on our channel this spring, he left like the timestamp on, and I don't like that. Or like there's something that happened that like I try to tell him, when you film with your phone, turn it sideways so when you put it on the screen, it's not a small screen or whatever, and stuff like that. Like he's still learning and all that, and I'm gonna go out to Missouri this fall and try to like teach him a little bit more about editing and stuff like that. It's better than what his other videos have been, but there's still like I'm trying to keep the channel as like a professional, where it's like, okay, we're not just two rednecks posting videos just to, post, which is one
Yeah.
of the questions I did have for you. Is it better to post a lot of content just to keep it going, or would you rather have fewer, better quality content? Which I think I know the answer, but I'd love to hear your take on
I
that.
mean, there's a happy medium. Just slap. Here's the thing: it's all on what your end goal viewership is. There's a lot of people, that take Tim Wells for example. His videos aren't very good production. They
Yeah,
really aren't.
they're hilarious.
But but the actual content that is in the video itself is what people are watching. So
Yeah,
it all depends and boils down to what is actually happening in the video. So if you're just taking a cell phone video and there's nothing really going on, you're just in a tree or something, it's very generic. But if there's a buck that's running by you, grunting his tail off, and just it's very loud, good audio, chaos, it doesn't matter how good the video is, it's the content that's in the video. So
yeah,
there's a happy medium. So
yeah,
kind of learning and knowing what is the better route to go. I like the professional side of things. I always have. Um,
yeah,
there's a downside to that because it's very difficult to always put together.
yeah. And I think that's a conversation I'm going to have with him, like, because he also has his own business as he builds barns and houses and stuff. And I'm like, listen, like, you wouldn't just put some half butt barn together. You expect the product to be good, and, you want money out of that. And this is what we're trying to do here. Like, no offense to my buddy. We're good friends, and I don't want to ruin the friendship over
Yeah.
that. But, like, it's a conversation I'll probably have to have. So,
Yeah. It's
and
just, and it's,
Jeremiah, if you're
and it's
watching, you're cool, bro. You know, but
a
um,
learning curve too. That's the thing. It's
yeah,
when I first started, I didn't think the stuff was good, and then basically people told me that it was good. But it's a critic thing where you should take criticism. Constructive criticism is good to understand, like, oh, I can do this small thing and be better.
yeah,
Why not try to be better about it?
yeah,
That's why not?
yeah,
It's every little trick of the trade. If you carry yourself that you think you know everything, then you're in it for the wrong reasons.
right,
So it's constantly taking something and tweaking it, as simple as color, direction, angles, a
yeah,
thousand different things, but those make a big difference. It makes your learning curve get shortened so
yeah.
much more.
Which is
Um,
one thing, like, I noticed too, like the turkey video I was talking about. Like, he watched it and he texted me, he goes, dude, like, I'm sorry, like, I screwed this up. And I'm like, hey, at least you recognized it, and we'll just make it better. And I didn't want to delete it because it's like, it's already been up there for 24 hours. People have seen it. It's like people are gonna be like, why is it down? Like, so I mean, he's recognizing things like that. So I'm happy, and they're slowly getting better. But I wanted to talk about like growing viewership and stuff like that. What's your best tip to build a loyal audience?
I mean, just being yourself and seeing, at the end of the day, people gotta like who you are, or they ain't gonna watch. There's a fine line, where you can fake stuff,
Yeah.
but people can read through it.
Oh
So
yeah.
there's actors out there that people like to watch, like Adam Sandler, because it's Adam Sandler. That's who he is. And then there's others that just they have to play a different role in movies because they just don't have that personality or attitude, or there's just something people don't like about it.
Yeah.
Um,
That's a good take. I like that.
so it's you kind of got to be yourself, and show just the right amount of who you are, but not too much where there's always like a mysterious type side. So
Yeah.
like me, I don't show a lot of myself on like back end stuff or what I'm doing at home or preparing for season, or just the overplayed where people are trying too hard.
Yeah.
Um, I don't like to try very hard in terms of people know who I am. If they want to know who I am, then they have a talk like this, and It's as simple as that. You kind of get
Yeah.
a gist of what I'm about, but I'm not going to try to push that too hard in terms of like YouTube videos or social media.
Yeah.
Um, because it's ultimately fake. You're doing it to try to gain attraction
Yeah.
instead of doing it because that's who you are.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one thing I noticed, like in my earlier videos. Um, a buddy of mine was watching them. He's like, dude, you're trying too much to be like the hunting public. Like, you need to be you. He's like, or Sequan or whoever. He's like, you need to focus on being you. People are going to like you for being you. They're going to get
Yeah.
on there and be like, oh, he's trying to be like Zach Farrenball, or oh, he's trying to be like Lee Ellis or whoever. He's like, you need to be Seth Bird. Like, focus on being him. And I think like once I took a step back in that, like I feel like people started to like us more for that. Like, even that's something I love about my buddy Jeremiah that works with me. Like, he is like, he doesn't care about, he's the most redneck person I've ever met, and he like just doesn't care in his videos. Like, he says some of the craziest crap on camera. It's funny.
That's the
Um,
thing. You got to be the same person when you're not recording when you are when you are.
exactly.
That
And
that's the big thing.
yeah, kind of going on with that. Like, how did you develop your camera personality or your storytelling, like in your films and stuff like that? Just
And
being yourself.
it's a work in progress. Being used to like it's a learning curve talking to a camera, um, where it's now an extension of myself. So like I've done it long enough now that when the camera's on, it doesn't bother me.
Yeah,
There's a where when you turn a camera on somebody that's not used to it, they get gun shy, they freeze up, they don't talk, they look weird,
yeah,
they get nervous, and it's getting through that and just pushing through it. So I try to I look at the lens, the front of the lens, as if I'm talking to somebody's face
yeah,
and picture it as somebody's face. And before you know it, it seems very authentic because when you're watching it, it it just seems like
yeah,
you're watching a video
yeah,
or talking to someone.
yeah. Yeah, I started a new camera guy last year, and he's good on the camera, like he's good filming and stuff like that. But as soon as I take the camera and start trying to talk to him while he's hunting, he just smiles and freezes up, and it's like, dude, look at me, like look at the camera, but look like you're talking to me, and it'll be all right.
Yeah.
Like, he's gotten better at it, but it'll be fun this year. He's starting to saddle hunt this year, so we're gonna try to film better with that and see how that goes. But some of the challenges that I have faced this year, I want to hear your take on it. It's just balancing filming and hunting. Um, that's I keep referring back to my buddy, my co-host, but like that's one thing I love about him too is like he's not going to sacrifice a hunt to film it. Like, he will
Mhm.
put the camera down first before he'll put his weapon down. Like, he'll kill that deer and then film later. Like, and last year that's what I struggled with. Like, I had so many bucks that I could have taken shots at, but I was like trying to focus, get the camera at the right angle before I shot, and ended up losing a couple bucks that I could have shot. And same with does and stuff like that. And he's like, dude, you got to get that killer instinct in you. Like, if you don't get the actual shot, it's okay. People are still going to be there for the story, even like afterwards and all that. So, how do you balance filming and enjoying the hunt?
So like I personally won't shoot anything unless it's on film. But that's a personal thing. The best thing I can say would be to have some type of second angle so it always captures at least something. Um, if you're bow hunting out of a tree, having that angle on yourself, or at least it gets you drawing a bow and shooting, the act of doing that, it might not be the animal itself.
Yeah,
That's okay, and that's where it doesn't take away from the hunt.
yeah,
And you just remember hit record, and that's it.
yeah, yeah. That's something like I got an attachment last year that you can put your phone or your GoPro on your bow stabilizer, and that
Yeah.
like truly a game changer because I didn't have to focus on anything. I hit record. It was a magnetized mount. You just slap it on there and you're good to go. But have you ever like with a hunt like felt like it was you were doing it more for the content than the actual hunt? Like, have you ever felt like that? Like, oh, I'm gonna shoot this doe or shoot this not probably not elk or buck, but like I've had this with like does and stuff. Like, do I really need this animal? Yes or no? But like, oh, it's for content. I'm gonna film this for content.
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, I've shot stuff just because, but it's ultimately practice. It's, it's what I like to do. So it's ultimately a practice round.
Yeah,
I we live in a world where we don't have to hunt for meat anymore if we don't
right,
have.
right.
uh, it's just not realistic to say I hunt for meat and then you have a couple $1,000s of camera gear. It's just not. That
Yeah,
doesn't make sense.
yeah,
Um, so I've shot stuff for content and a purpose, but at the same time, it's practicing your setup, practicing getting it on film, trying to just replicate it and being better and efficient. It's just like, I don't know how else to describe it. It would be, like shooting a basketball. Like you don't just go shoot and make it every time. You gotta practice. You gotta do free throws. So it's
yeah,
just doing those over and over is practice. So shooting a doe early season, you fill one of your tags, you have fun doing it. You like
yeah,
shooting your bow. That's something you enjoy. I don't see anything wrong with it.
yeah,
So
yeah. Um, have you ever had a video go wrong, and what did you learn from it?
yeah, I mean I've had stuff go wrong. Audio cut out or but you got to get creative, and that's where I've done it. I'm long enough now that I know how to get creative and create spines and create recreates if you have to that just fill in the gap that help the story flow. It's as
Yeah,
simple as like not just putting words on a screen that audio cut out. I will go back and I'll sit down and I'll create some type of spine so you have some talking points, some music or something to go over top of that to make it seamless and flow the correct way.
yeah. Maybe like a audio over, like you talking in the background, like, hey, like maybe
Yeah,
rain got in our mics or something like that. Something like not just okay. Yeah, I like that. That's a good take.
you'll see it a lot on documentaries, just not hunting related. Just you'll see it in the film world. When you watch documentaries on PBS or just any station or even YouTube, like you'll see the different changes and learning that watching stuff outside the hunting space will teach you a lot where you could put it into the hunting space.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. How do you deal with like negative comments and stuff like that?
It don't bother me.
Just ignore them. I mean, you probably dealt a lot with like negativity and criticism playing baseball too, so you probably get
Yeah.
used to it and
Yeah, as a pitcher, man, you give up a home run, 20 seconds later, you got to throw another pitch. So, I
shrug it
just,
off.
yeah, I've learned to, it's just a personal thing that
Yeah, it's life. I
yeah,
mean, the way I look at it is like you're posting something for the whole world to see. Like, what did you expect to happen? Like,
yeah,
some people are gonna love it, and some be like, you got your anti-hunters out there. They're gonna be like, whatever, or even like bad video. I've had comments on like, oh, like, you need better video or whatever, and it's like, yeah, okay, like I'll take that. Like, I understand. Like, it was a bad angle or whatever, and you just, sometimes you can learn from it. What I've tried to tell myself, like sometimes I take it hard, which we're small enough where we don't get a lot of those right now. But like I've had like the first couple that I was like, oh man, okay, like good to
yeah.
know. Um, so this is something that I've tried to start a lot this year was building opportunities for our channel, like bringing more like sponsors or partners or whatever, just to try to create things little better. Because like I'm not at the part where I have the money to go anywhere in the states and hunt right now. Or like I've been trying to be creative and like um, reach out to different companies. Like, hey, like I'll try this equipment and do like a review on YouTube about it and like try to share with that. Um, I'm not very good at approaching people like that. I've been trying to learn how to like word emails and stuff like that too. But what would you say the right way to approach a sponsor? Because I know you're sponsored by Kings and I'm trying to think who else I saw. A couple other.
The
Uh,
biggest thing is creating value, at the end of the day, like we said in the beginning, is you got to have some type of value. So figuring out what might be a missing opportunity, something that you see a hole in their stuff, or they coming out, it's as simple as redoing videos that are 10 years old that they did. Some things have been around for forever. Um, just redoing something like that and be like, and putting forth effort before you're asking for something is
Yeah.
is a big foot in the door.
Yeah.
And yeah, exactly. Like the correct way to approach somebody is kind of everybody's a little different because everybody's their own personality.
Yeah.
I'm fortunately I got into the space and just kind of kept at it. I offered a lot of volunteer time. I did 3 years without a paid sponsor at all. Full 3 years of my own money into it. And then you do stuff for a while, and then they see the value that you really care about it, you care about what they're doing, and you're trying to help them grow and back and forth. And it's kind of like you scratch their back, they scratch yours. And finding the right ones that care about that is the difficult part.
Yeah.
So, um,
Yeah.
just conversations. It's just a lot of conversations and
Yeah.
person, you know, building those relationships.
Yeah. One thing, I had this idea this year, and I'm gonna do it at the I'm going to the Hunters Expo, or the Mobile Hunter Expo in Ohio next weekend. I ordered business cards with QR codes that have our YouTube channel and stuff like that, and I was gonna walk around and talk to different people at different booths, and just try to tell them about our channel and stuff like that. And then I help out with a calling company that does the outdoor show in Harrisburg, and they also do the NWTF, and so I'm gonna have them with me and talk. Just try to um, create a friendship with different companies that I've wanted to talk to, partner with, or whatever, and um, just try to get a foot in the door. Put a face with a name and stuff like that, just to so they remember me, and try to
Yeah.
create a friendship there.
Yeah, man. I mean, you just never know what it might lead to. I just, a lot of people need help at trade shows. A lot of people need help in weird aspects, offering your time. Time is valuable to a lot of these companies. So if you can offer a little bit of your time,
Yeah.
for a while, they'll take that over pretty much a lot of things. So that's a really good way to, I guess, get your foot in the door, is putting your name associated with that and offering to help, and just meaning well. Like
Yeah.
that's that just you mean right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I started working with this turkey calling company last spring, I think it was, or 2 springs ago. Anyway, I needed help at the outdoor show for the booth and stuff like that, and I was like, I would love to like help out. Like, I love your calls, and I'd love to talk to customers and like hear their stories and tell them how much I like the calls, and like these show them my favorites, and just kind of be talk to that kid that was me like 5 years ago, like walking around talking to people, like trying to learn stuff about the outdoors and turkey hunting and stuff like that. I've always been a deer hunter. Like, I got into turkey hunting like probably 3 or 4 years ago, and so I've been trying to learn as much as possible, and hanging out with those guys at the shows and stuff, I've learned a lot. And I meet a lot of great people too, like from other booths like that are next to you and stuff like that. Like, I just thought it was so. I always had this idea that like, oh, everybody at that show's in competition. Like, everybody's there to make money, and it wasn't the case. Like, we were going out with like our competition for dinner. Like, what's the name? Cluck. I don't know if you ever heard of them, the Cluck boys. Like, we were going out. They're our competition, but we were going out to dinner with the boys and talking and just having a good time. I'm like, oh, okay, this is like one big giant family. And
yeah,
I think that's one thing that's drawn me to it, and that like I'm trying to reach out to other companies and get to know them, and that's kind of part of the reason why I'm going to Ohio, because there's a couple of companies that I want to talk to, and we've emailed a little bit before, and just try to put a face with a name, like I said earlier, and get to know them and stuff like that. Um,
yeah.
for someone that's starting out, and I'm in this boat a little bit, how long should they realistically expect before making money from YouTube?
I
I
mean,
know that's a tough question.
it's a huge question mark. I mean, I would say a solid year of consistency,
Okay.
um, and having a couple videos kind of do very well.
Yeah.
hunting space is very small.
It is.
Fishing space is it's bigger. And then so it's figuring out what creates value, what makes you want to buy something, what makes you want to be a part of something, and then just trying to replicate that in your own way and your own pitch.
Yeah.
My channel ain't that big at all, and I don't make anything from it. I
Really?
probably won't for probably a year.
You
So
make you make more of your money on the business side, right? Like filming for people
yeah,
and stuff.
that's my business.
Okay,
I own two businesses, so that's where I make money behind closed doors, so to speak, that people don't see. So
I got you.
that's the money aspect.
Yeah, interesting. I was listening to a podcast that Bo East Meets West did with Chris B, and he said his ideal year, like before getting paid, was like 10 years or something like that. He said so, which I mean, it's really hard. So like my father-in-law, he has a YouTube channel. And he just posts random stuff. Like he does a lot of DIY stuff, and he's like, so like how many followers do you have? And I was like, I'm at about like 210 or whatever. And he's like, that it? And I was like, yeah. I was like, how many you have? He's like, 1 million. And I'm like, how? Like I've been doing grinding for like 5 years, and you've done it for a year. And he's like, well, I think it's like the variety that I'm focused on one thing, and that's outdoors hunting. And like you said, it's a small space, and every Joe Blow has their own YouTube channel now. Like I think if I would have gotten started like later, like earlier, like 20, like back around COVID, I heard like there was a big boom of like hunting shows and stuff like that on YouTube. But I mean, these are the cards that I'm dealt with, and I'm gonna, keep grinding. And I, it's hard to post videos in the summertime. I found out like it's just really hard to make
Yeah.
videos. So I mean, this year, me and my buddy Jeremiah, we've been like trying to like he killed 4 birds this year, and I'm like, hey, let's just post 1 or 2 of the hunts, and then save the next 2 for next year. Just like stock up on videos and stuff like that, so we have content to post like in the winter time or in the summertime. You have stuff like that. So
Yeah.
this will be my last question.
Yeah.
Catch a flight here soon, but if someone is watching right now or listening, and wants to start their own YouTube channel or outdoor channel, but is hesitant, what would you tell them?
Just do it anyway, or ask people that does it, that like myself, or even I ask people that are way bigger than me questions all the time, and if they're too arrogant to answer back, then that just tells me the type of person they are. So I just do it anyway, and just don't stop. Like if you want to do something bad enough, just do it,
Yeah.
and it's as simple as that. A lot of people just give up too long, too short. So I knew I wanted to kind of do this outdoor space, and it's constantly evolving, but I just haven't stopped. Like if something doesn't work, then I'm gonna do something else, and it's constantly not taking no for an answer and just doing it anyway.
Yeah.
So, and that's where I've read, Business Insider and different business models that aren't hunting or outdoor related, and put them in the same space. So a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan, a 15, 20-year plan, or where you want to be in 20 years, where you want to be in 10 years, where you want to be in 5, and micro break that down and just have those goals and try to hit a small goal that's going to get you to the ultimate goal. So it's breaking it down and micromanaging it as best as possible.
Yeah.
And keep yourself accountable and just doing it, and
Yeah.
you'll eventually succeed.
Yeah, I thought it would be easy, like to get followers. I didn't realize how hard it would be on YouTube. There have been times that I've thought about quitting, but I'm like, I enjoy the editing and the making process too much. I've really embraced this year a lot on Instagram. I've really enjoyed posting more content on Instagram because I feel like I can get more advertisement on the channel from there over. And that I've seen a lot of growth in Instagram this year. So that's really cool. And like meeting people in this space through Instagram has been nice. But like you said, like creating a plan, I've been trying to do that. And this year I'm like starting to shift more of my focus on like creating friendships through this. Like, not just so much,
Yep.
okay, I got to make money. Like, I've got to, I'm doing this YouTube to make money and it can be a job for me. Whereas, I'm going to enjoy the process and enjoy the people I meet along the way. Like,
Yep.
5 years ago, I would have never dreamed that I'd be talking to you or some of these other people that I've got to meet that have been awesome and have given me awesome advice. Um,
Yeah.
so it's been really cool the journey's been like awesome to just different, awesome people I get to meet. Like next week, I'm talking to Johnny Stewart, and I'm like, I never
Yeah.
thought in a million years I'd be able to talk to Johnny. Like, it's just awesome the people I get to meet.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like you gotta always remember where you started and where you're at, and keep that in the back of your head. It's easy to get caught up in today and what's going on in short term instead of looking at long term. So I just say to look at your long term goals and long term from beginning to end, and it'll humble you right back to like why you started in the first place.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I kind of did one of those. Thinking back the other day about it, and kind of like with PA opening, I guess it would be last or 2 weekends ago. It would be 2 months till we open up. So kind of in like memory of that, I did like a video on YouTube of like my first hunt I ever filmed and posted that on YouTube because I thought kind of spruced it up a little bit, made it a lot better than what I did like 7 years ago, 10 years ago. And just made it. I thought it'd be cool for like people that have recently started following us, try to see, to show them where we started and what little me with no facial hair and braces, like what we used to be and stuff like that. And it was just cool to like look back on my computer and all the old content I had from you know 18, being like 18 or 19-year-old kid, just filming everything, and it was just kind of cool to look back to see where we
that
at to
that's
opportunities
the
I've
thing.
had now.
That's the thing too. You get to see it yourself and see and remember all that stuff. So at the end of the day, it's just as much for yourself than it is anybody else.
Yeah. Yep. Well, Jake, thanks for taking the time to talk to me, and looking forward to seeing you at the expo next week. I saw you're doing a session, I believe. So bringing my cameraman with me and gonna try to get him more, meeting more people, and hopefully I get to meet some people. But
Oh
yeah,
yeah, there'll be
Nope.
a lot of people there.
Yeah, sounds like it. It sounds like the Southern show is pretty big too. So it'll be cool to meet you in person. Well, I've met you in person before, but it'd be good
Oh
to see
yeah.
you again. So,
Yeah, man.
all right. Well, enjoy your flight and hope your trip goes well.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right.